Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I originally am from Southern California, and I decided to go to UH Hilo. So it was just kind of a hop, skip, and a jump for me going from California over to the Big Island. Growing up, I wanted to be quite a few different things. I bounced around from wanting to be a zookeeper, a vet, a chef, a musician, and then finally I landed on marine scientist just through diving. My academic career at UH Hilo is pretty straightforward. I didn't jump around in a bunch of different majors or anything. I came there for the marine science, and that's what I stuck with. I tacked on a communications major along with that just because I took enough classes, and my advisor, Dr. Stephen Colbert, he was just like, well, why are you getting a minor? And I was like, oh, because I took the classes for it. And he's like, well, how much to get a major? And I was like, like 6 more. And he's like, just do it. So I did it, and I picked UH Hilo because of the small class sizes. I was used to that growing up in like a small private school. So that was like a huge thing for me. And I really liked how they focused on undergrads getting hands-on research experience. That's something really hard to find as an undergrad in the sciences, at least from like a California school system based at the time when I was looking. And it was really nice. When I did a tour, they were like, yeah, we're heading out on a boat if you want to join an oceanography class. And then, I did a tour of a California school, and they're like, oh, well, you might have like a 2 to 3 year pre-major of like math and science and everything before you can touch anything marine science related. But that's mostly for the grad. I'm not doing pure research, at least not all the time, but the experiences that I did have at UH Hilo, especially the diving experiences, helped land me my current job and kind of my current path about where I'm at. I've been able to get my hands wet, so to speak, in a variety of conservation projects at work, just not pure science. I am approaching my 4th year with the Walt Disney Company, working as a Water Sciences Divemaster. I just transferred over to the seas with Mamo and friends. Up until 2 weeks ago, I was actually over at Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park at the Walt Disney World Resort, working as a water sciences technician. I just kind of had a bit of a lateral move from one park to another. Mostly what I've been doing for the last 4 years is we were taking care of the water portion of the animal exhibits at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The part of the dive team that I was on for the last 4 years, 95% of the time we exclusively worked at Disney's Animal Kingdom on technical projects over at the seas. That was a night shift role. I actually just, with my new spot over at the seas, I'm on days now. It consisted of diving a rotation of animal exhibits like hippos, elephants, flamingos, all the animals that have water there. We helped take care of it. And the animal keepers ensured that the animals were in their barns at night and off exhibit so we could safely enter the water and keep the animals safe. And our main job was diving with a trash pump and removing debris on the bottom. Basically, kind of like underwater vacuuming is mostly what we did for just any debris down there. And on some nights we helped out on the operations side of water sciences because we have quite a big team, and we help dive the sumps, which are basically clear water wells. That's part of the filtration system, kind of like a pool. So the water moves from the animal exhibit through a series of filtration, and we would help dive some of that just to kind of help keep the water good for the animals. Some people may not like the smaller school systems just because that's usually limited budget. And while that might be true in some cases, I picked UH Hilo because it was a smaller school. I enjoyed the fact that the class sizes were personal, and it was a very personalized learning experience. All my professors knew me. It wasn't like I was just a face in the crowd. If I needed help, they knew who I was, and it was so great. And even most of them, after I left their class, I would chat with them in the hallways. You became friends with them afterwards. It was an amazing experience. And UH Hilo's location, we visited a few times when I was a kid, just for vacation. I never thought I would get to live there for 4 years, but it's a phenomenal spot, especially for marine science. There's such a diversity out there and endemic species that you only get to see in Hawaii, in the islands. And so it was a perfect place to study marine science. College in general laid the foundation of who I am today. I did a 4-year traditional school, and then afterwards I actually went to trade school and got my commercial diving certificate. It's the skills and the knowledge, that you learn while you're in a 4-year school, especially if they really tack on and emphasize skills, which UH Hilo does. So you're prepared to then take that out into the working world. And that you can't put any dollar sign on that. It's completely invaluable, those skill sets that you learn there. And UH Hilo, it's such a diverse campus. And I mean, you could walk down the hallway and hear several different languages being spoken. You could have classes of people from all over the world, but being able to meet people from different cultures and backgrounds, and then especially learning more about like the Hawaiian culture and history, like things I never even knew because you're just not taught that back on the mainland. Like it was a completely mind-blowing experience. And walking away with that, it definitely helps now in the workplace where it is such a diverse workplace. And Disney has come out with their new diversity and inclusion keys to ensure that there is a more diverse and inclusive workplace and work environment. And so I think kind of having a taste of that at UH Hilo has definitely helped me and prepare me for being at the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, as you started responding to the question, I was thinking to myself, oh, I wonder how much our culture played into your learning experience. Do you have anything you want to share about that? Like, what did you learn culturally that you still carry with you today?
There's like a lot of little things. They pop up in kind of the most random and weird ways. Some of the words we used in class, like I walked into marine science, the marine bio 101 class, and they're like, okay, we're going to go Mauka to Makai on this transect. And I'm just like, what are these words? I had no idea. They just threw in Hawaiian language. And like, we're going to look at the limu and watch out for the honu. It was wild, but I caught up, learned some great words in marine science. And honestly, as I'm out there diving today, I'm still thinking of those words. Like I'm not like, oh, look, there goes a sea turtle. I'm like, oh, there goes a honu. Like my personal favorite was one of the professors loved to use kapakahi in his lecture constantly. And anytime anything goes crazy, I say it. Experience, absolutely 100% experience, hands-on experience in whatever field, research, interest, hands-on experience, whether it's with the tools of the trade or knowledge of research methods, statistical methods, stuff like that. It's invaluable to know all of that. And also, who have you worked with? It's a lot of networking and being able to say, oh, well, I worked with this person who was attached to NOAA, or I worked with this person that was attached to this agency, the NLR, and whoever. It's nice to be able to have those connections. So network as much as you can. And I know the marine science program has so many different ways for undergraduates to network, whether it's through the MOP program or Quest. When I went through, I'm not sure if they still have it, but MAST, the marine archaeology part, any of those extra programs that students can get involved in, I would highly suggest it. Build a LinkedIn, collect them all on LinkedIn, get all these connections and keep all of that relevant because it will help in the long run down the road in their career. Also, whatever leadership positions that you may have had, whether it's leading, like I worked for Outdoor Adventures for all 4 years. So I had leading the students out on all those fun weekend adventures. I had being a dive master through the dive program up there. It's all that kind of accumulated in things that employers look for.